most of the series that I've been covering recently, and I've had a decent array going over towards NA, South America, Asia, whatever. Yeah, I haven't seen kind of more than 5, really.
Yeah.
So I think probably 15 is a fairly decent shout here.
Yeah, it feels like they've been picking into it rather than a lot of the teams at the moment kind of leaving it as a decider. Oh, we got to play it at some point. But yeah, I think Inferno, as you say, probably going to be a pretty common one here. Inferno Ancient, last time out, I did some BO1s. I think it might have been for another qualifier like this back in sort of January, February time. It felt like Ancient was pretty popular in the BO1. So we'll see. But we are flowing straight into the game here, folks. Not wasting any time. So thanks very much. We're actually a minute early. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Immediate tactical timeout coming in, though. Aurora said, excuse me, my contract says 12 o'clock start. So we got to wait a minute before we get into the Counter-Strike.
Well, either way, I'm looking at this, and I really do have to ask a couple of questions about how this one's going to come through. Aurora, we got to catch them in Mongolia for a LAN, and they looked very, very decent. Third place for them is not bad at all. But I got to kind of ask questions about this kind of form post-LAN and say, you know, a couple of losses that maybe I would say they shouldn't be taking, and we'll see if they can find their form back once again. Either way, Aurora Sinners is a good matchup, especially considering where Sinners close against Sangal last night, a heartbreaking loss 2-1. You want to try and lock in that spot, even if it is the slightly longer route to it.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly feel like in Mongolia they could have gone a bit deeper as well. The series against Bleed was pretty close, right? And they had some extenuating circumstances. I think the people out there might appreciate knowing. You know, Deco was a little bit ill. Their coach got injured mid-series. You know, it was kind of a wild time for Aurora if you think about it. So I think they certainly could have, maybe gotten into that grand final at the very least. The Mongols look pretty unstoppable right now, but I think Aurora therefore will kind of know that they are capable of a bit more, and contending against some very, very strong teams on LAN, they should absolutely give this a good solid go here for the Season 20 qualifiers. But as I have been talking away, the round itself has not really built up into too much. Oscar will be the first clean headshot. I didn't even see the player that he finds. Shock standing strong in the pit as well. Looks very good here. I don't even think making it out of the apartments is going to happen, and Oscar remains crisp. Deco stands alone with this P250. Not going to happen. Oscar's taken over the round.
Wow. All right. Not a bad start at all for Sinners. Coming in towards this matchup and laying down the gauntlet. Nice and easy. And the question is now, can they continue this sort of form? Aurora, very, very slow. I'm not too sure what the plan was realistically in that sense. They kind of come into that round. They don't do anything off the kind of the offset. They don't really poke or prod or look anywhere too much. And before you know it, Sinners just have to sit on the site and wait and hold. That's all they do. It's a real weird kind of situation, and it works well.
Climbing away here on those Tech 9s. A little close, but nothing going to happen for Lackey. Oh. MacG maybe playing a little bit with his food ever so slightly, but all the same, 5 versus 3. As they have found a little gap to work with here. Kenzie's going to get a nice catch. Should be able to get the bomb down off the back of it. Round itself, I don't think is going to happen, though. They're caged into this site, so you would assume that it should be easy pickings for the Sinners retake. Eagle trained in, trying to find something. Deco, again, eliminating another head, but we need a bit more before we start to believe. They've not necessarily recovered any rifles, but Deco goes digging, and if he can find this kill, oh man, it could have been something. Unfortunately, does not happen for him. Just, you know, gets bested. Not expecting Shock to be in so deep. Still, 2 kills and a bomb plant. That's kind of the bare minimum that you want to be finding as a T side going on the force buy. So they'll be pretty satisfied with that. I would imagine as well, actually, I've not considered this question, but I think we should be on the new patch here. I didn't quite catch the money after the bomb plant, but yeah, I think we should be on the new patch, right?
Yes, yeah, we should be. Yeah, we are. I'm pretty sure the way it was, I mean, a little bit controversial. People like to moan, people like to and ah, but I think actually for me was the right call by ESL. But they did regular season old patch, playoffs new patch.
Yes.
And people like to but if you did the whole tournament old patch, you're like a month behind. It's just, at that point, you're making your life harder. Also, the new patch got rid of a lot of crashing issues. I think for me, Rackle by ESL, in my personal opinion. But 2-0 start regardless for Sinners. And of course, for Aurora off the back of that one prior, forced by unsuccessful, pretty simply means this one is going to be a bit of a no-show. With a couple of upgraded pistols, but nothing all too miraculous. Question here for me is really, for Aurora, you know, they're a side who, you know, we've seen at times, especially, you know, when we were in Mongolia, for example, very good team, but they can be a little slow to start in towards games. And the only issue is, fellas, this is the best of one. There's no time in this game. You haven't got any room for error. You haven't got any scope for error. And of course, with how this format kind of is as well, it's a little bit harsh in the sense that only 2 teams, only the top 2 out of the 8 in this Swiss are actually even making it towards the playoffs on, well, all on Tuesday, like to that 3 best-of-3 day. So there's really not a lot of room for error.
Yeah, certainly true. Big nade damage coming into this round here, so Aurora struggling to get things off the ground. Playing around with this new economy a little bit, not going for the force into this one, and pulling out some deagles, bit of armor. So, you know, they were maybe hoping to take an early rifle and make that work. Easier said than done, though, and I think, yeah, they'll definitely be known about. Beautiful little flash over the top for Risco. We'll see, rolling forwards, how they can make it look. Result, the first one to chime in. And again, another bomb plant. This one a bit tighter, only a few seconds in it, but they will continue the pumping of cash. Kenzie with a FAMAS, if he goes overlooked, which I don't think he will, could have been big, nearly taking out Shock there. You have to hand it to him. It's all going to be on to Result. Orp is trained on this angle, going to stop him from crossing. Oh, and a lovely shot from Oscar. Always, for me, one of my favorite players to watch. I really did enjoy Oscar back in the day. Just a bit of a shame, I think. A few mentality issues. I don't necessarily think he was like difficult to work with, but I think he was a bit hard on himself and, you know, got stuck in the rut, so to speak. Really stopped him from being one of the greats.
Yeah, but honestly as well, if you think about it, when we were kind of on the up and up, right? So it was like that old school Sinners. You remember like 2021 Sinners? Dude, they were...
Yeah, that made Pro League and everything.
Yeah, man. So fun to watch. And it was basically all Oscar. There's no two ways about it. So actually, it's really nice to see he still got it. You know, a couple of the players from back then, I guess another team that were alongside them was Entropic, funny enough. And of course, we see Lackey here. So they were on the other side in that same thing, but they're Orpa, Elian. Rest in peace. Don't know what he's doing these days, but...
Oh.
I feel you.
Been there. Got that big new crosshair, you know. Listen, man, all I'm saying, I haven't missed, you know that barrage window smoke that you line up on the corner of the box? And I haven't missed one of those since they've added it. That's all I'm saying, because even if it was like slightly off, you would, you know, it'd land a bit short or whatever. But now, no excuses, mate. So I'm winning my 1,500, not 1,500, Jesus, 15,000 ELO Premier pugs with the new...
1,500, that would be...
I can't imagine what 1,500 ELO is like.
Well, I can actually tell you, one of my friends from home, shout out James one time, his starting ELO was 800. Premier ELO, 800. But he actually might be the worst player I've ever seen in my life. Like, he is... I mean... decision making is horrendous.
Oh, no. I've been there though. I told you about I've got a friend who, you know, they would like kick him. So you know, it's pretty savage down there, man. It's pretty savage in the low elos. Norby gonna enter into this B bomb site. A little bit of a wild play from Marisco. I gotta be honest, trying to be the hero. Maybe had permission to do that. Not quite sure. Didn't look like a play you'd give permission for. Either way, 4v3, immediate save.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. And sadly, I think this one is, like I said, just a bit of a non-starter. But I think not the worst thing in the world to keep hold of what you've got. You haven't got the most fully fledged built-up economy, so I don't hate keeping hold of 3 rifles here. Just going to give yourself or continue to keep that sort of support and all of the rest. But I guess while we've got this intermediary sort of 20 seconds, I can come back to roasting my mates. But back on Go, I don't, many people didn't know this, but you can actually play Counter-Strike on controller.
Yep.
So I used to, I've outfragged him on an Xbox 360 controller. So, I'm joking when I say he's one of the worst. It's a horrible watch.
Do we know a game that he's like really good at? Or...
No, because I play FIFA Pro Clubs with him as well, and that is an eyesore. I mean,
it's rough. Listen, man, I'm bang average.
Yeah.
But there are a few people out there. I know a few people that are more inclined, like any game you play, they're just sick at.
Yeah.
You know.
That's me, mate.
But I would imagine, yeah, there's also the opposite end of the spectrum is that, you know, there's a few people that, you know, story games, probably good at those. But beyond that, the competitive games, maybe not for them.
Yeah. Some people just don't have it in them. Not that dog in them.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a good start.
That was me for a while until I started playing CS.
There we go.
Then I became toxic.
Oh, yeah. You should see me at 8 years old on FIFA Ultimate Team, mate. Lobbing controllers across the living room. Norby gonna crack open this round as he'll find a first into the barrage. Going through the smoke there. So audacious. I'm sure that nade wasn't meant to go that shallow, but it does anyway. Aurora got that first. They don't actually need to rush now. Norby taking a tag, but it's a good little spot that they kind of put themselves in. They don't need to kind of force any fights here, because realistically, Amanda's advantage, the onus is on Sinners to try and make a move.
Yeah, Norby looking good in the past few rounds. This sort of quiet killer that Aurora have got, to be honest. Some very vocal players in Result and Kenzie. But Norby just sort of gets on, head down, does as he's asked. And pretty effective in the past couple of rounds. Sticking over on towards that B-bomb. Oscar goes digging. That's unfortunate. Tag. I don't even know. Was that like in his knee because he was crouched? It felt like that was fully on, but it ends up being a tag. It ends up costing him his life and ultimately costing Sinners the way back into the round. They are somewhat desperate to find some kind of a frag, some kind of a way in. Not going to happen. B-Stick, though, he's still stuck in, the main interim of the attack, but Norby had been creeping and working his way through B all round long. Lovely stretched out attack onto that bomb site from Aurora, but it's not only a round win, it's also an elimination of 4 players, which I think there was a point, wasn't there, where it turned in their favor, and it was probably a save from Sinners. They were hoping for 3 players left alive. They don't get that.
Yeah.
And even the one here is under threat now.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep an AWP alive, that'd be nice, but yeah, they're sniffing around, and he will fall to the hands of Resso. But honestly, for me, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but Norby, this guy on the screen, when he gets going, is not only his mind for the game, but just his aim is so good to watch. Very talented guy. And of course, that will be a second on the board. That will now start to kind of open the door here for Aurora. Nothing saved, nothing gained over towards Sinners means realistically no buy. They kind of sort of reluctantly have to go in towards a lesser investment, and that will mean Aurora should tie this game right back up. Tough spot though. You slow start, well, you start well, but you allow the guns to get going. It can be a really rough spot. Need to be careful. They are going to group up via mids, and Wrestle, it could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Definitely possible. He's going to try and go for the eco frags. Only 2 for him.
Ooh,
Not sure whether they'll be able to, sort of recover things back. The AK looking a little scary. Ooh, oh my. Magikey's actually doing damage here. Finds 2. The bomb in a bit of an awkward spot as well. He's left all alone. Surely not going to be able to find it from here. You know, they'll just try and double team him. Oh my goodness, a little separated. Lining up a bit towards the end. Could have been disastrous. Certainly the messier round there from Aurora.
Yeah.
They'll still convert.
Has to be said, realistically, when we look at that, not the worst round in the world from Sinners, right? They got something out of a minimum effort. They brought a P250 to play, and they're walking away with a couple of kills. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can take a silver lining, but fundamentally, it's going to be Aurora tying this game back up. Deco's AWP doesn't fall, so all of the positives for Aurora that they needed are in play. Oscar got an AWP of his own. It's going to be quite an interesting battle between Oscar and Deco, because Deco kind of, in terms of his playstyle, he's just a new gen Oscar. Very aggro, very reliant on the kind of the mechanics in that sense. B-Stick, oh, he's going to fall to the spam, to the flames. He couldn't escape. Whoever he turned, there was demise.
Oh, Oscar, though, on the orb, keeping them in things here. Magic gets caught. Not the best look. Shock going to try and pick up the pieces, however. They never expect two in the same spot. He's able to get one gifted to him and drop back. So a real threat here for Aurora. Where are they going? What is the game plan? It looks to be in towards CT. A quick trade opens up that B-bomb site completely. The rotations had already come in from Sinners. Preemptive? Difficult to say. Either way, they get bested. How often do we see a T-side actually go for the CT in towards B? Not very is the answer. Deco with an unlucky tag. It was Oscar in the previous rifle round, and it is Deco in this one. Norvi hidden away. They're split. Shock is low. I don't know, man. I fancy his chances here. We'll see.
Kind of feels doable. 1v2 and he's buying time. He's actually got a pretty good position. And retaking with an AWP is never easy. Oscar doesn't even clear this. The answer is going to be yes. Oh, and he gets a tag as well. Oh my god, yeah. That was good for a moment until Norvi then hit mouse one and it all fell apart. Labored spray, two messy fights, and a nice retake from Sinners. Oscar a little tag, Shock for the cleanup, and that is going to be Sinners answering back 4-3. Not too bad.
Yeah, they'll regain their lead pretty quickly then. Really nice look coming round from the Sinners. But I'm curious now, Aurora, you know, once they found some stability, looked decent early on, are we going to see a quick return from them? You could argue, again, a moment of unluckiness. You know, that banana fight. Deco ultimately has done the best that he can. You know, and he gets a little screwed by the game. Happens to everybody at any level, right? And that's the nature of Counter-Strike. So we'll see that kind of parameter. I don't know if Sinners can rely on it again. Great utility usage here. Fantastic nade over the top onto Mariska as well. Going to scare him off. Shock. Oh, has just missed that timing, you know. Result moves into the apartments. He's going to have no idea. Is he going to give it a look? Ooh, it all depends on the angle, and he keeps on looking. There it is, tip of the head. Tip of the head. Oh, he doesn't want to give his position away. I kind of like it. Just gather the info and keep on moving. This could get a bit weird.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is huge. Oh my god. I don't think they're gonna check this at all on this timing. It's just whether somebody rotates over, but he got this one. And two. That's the bomb. Molotov will come down as well. Does he expect the mid player? He's now spotted him as well. Oh my god, the information Shock is getting is ridiculous.
To pick off one on the lurk. They knew about Result. They were ready for him. But yeah, such a clever play from Shock, I have to be honest. How many even pro players, right, at the highest level of the game, they're going to see that head, they're going to be like, free kill, we're a man down, we kind of need this, you know, and they're just going to take it. But he opts to play the info game, and look how well it has paid off for them. In towards the B-bomb site then. Can Aurora make anything happen? Molotov comes in, will make life difficult. I think the bomb plant maybe just about here. Yeah, no spam comes in. They've just got to be careful on that Sinners side. 3v2 quickly, well, 4v2 even, quickly drops into an even situation here. One that Aurora can work with, and a lovely move from Aurora as well. The double stack, the double peaks, the unexpected positions. Maybe not so much of a fan of Kenzie. Whoa, going wide. They are tight on top of each other, but they make it work. Kenzie just fully trading his teammate out. I think he's heard. Ooh. Shock here as well. What a flick around from Kenzie. Nice as all round, and Aurora steal away round number 8.
Yeah, that is a beautiful one in that 1v2. And that's, you know, Arthur Norvi let one slip a little bit in the round prior. That is a good one for kind of Kenzie to drag back in their favor. 4-all, and we are getting a game here to kickstart things. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Some of the other games as well. We've got Nine Pandas. They're 4-3 up against Monty. Pirate is all actually yet to start. And 3D Max, they're 5-0 up against Rush at B. So some mixed bag of results so far. Shock Steagle. No questions about that. Norvi gets his head ripped off his shoulders.
Result will find a little trade back though, so ultimately all good here. Would expect them to come out on top of things, and we'll see. There's presence on A from Sinners, so if they go there, it could be a bit dangerous, but I think they are actually shaping up for a B hit here.
It's going to quietly going to pump those brakes periodically. Not committed yet, but I think you're right. I mean, this more or less looks like it. Shock going to continue getting aggro. This guy has got so much information with these pushes.
Yeah, man, he's really finding gaps, isn't he? Which is a big, big deal. Fountain angle. My least favorite angle on the entire map. I don't know why it has become a thing. You know, I really don't like it. There's so many players have been using. I think when we casted Pro League, that was kind of the first time that I'd seen it really come out. And maybe, I'm not sure, maybe someone had like a clip at Chengdu or at Pro League, you know, from that fountain position, but I don't seem to remember one.
No, there was.
But everybody just suddenly started using it.
I think Twists had one at Chengdu. No, it's Chengdu.
Yeah,
right. I think it might be Chengdu.
No, it could be. Yeah, they were at Chengdu.
Yeah, so, I think Twists had one, and everyone thought it was just like a god angle, but it was actually just because at that time it was an off angle. Now everyone knows. Oh wait, hang on, they can be behind there.
Yeah. No, that is exactly it. Exactly it. And you know, I'm sure we saw it a number of times just completely fail at Pro League. And they were playing it many different ways. Early peaks, hiding behind it, you know, baiting their teammate, and it just like never worked because everyone was very, very ready. And I think super straight edges like that, you know, and it's not the thickest pillar in the world. It's not an ideal peak for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure your body starts showing up before, you know, because you're like left eyeing it most of the time and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't work. So, guys, if you are semi-pro or pro out there, tier 2 pro, watching this game, getting some information, please stop doing it. Thank you.
Well, you've been given the warning, right? What Scriff says goes.
Yeah, or else.
Or else. You don't want to test him on his bad side. Marisko up close towards wall here. Does he realize how low Norvi is around that corner? One pot flash. Because that T-side smoke as well, if he got pot flashed in here, he's basically guaranteed a kill towards Norvi. But now that he's got a support, don't do it. Don't be tested. Oh, he is. Yeah, it's always the case. It was a timing play. If he gets pot flashed before they push through T-smoke, he probably gets a freebie of a kill. But the fact is, after they go through, he's in trouble, and B-Stick will fall. This round's done, isn't it? Aurora about to find a 6th.
Yeah, just honestly, beautiful scaling from Aurora. Really, really great. They get a bit lucky in a way. It was a good flash. Maybe if it was an AK on the other side of things. I understand what you're saying about pushing through the smoke, but it still could have been a one and done at the very least. It's just the fact that, you know, it was an AWP that timed the shot well, despite being blind. You know, it happens. Like I say, if it was an AK on the other side of things. Sorry. All though. Not sure I'm a big fan of that one. 2 HP. That's the AWP gone as well. And another? Guys, what are we doing here? Are we saving or are we not? You know? Either way, yeah, Aurora just dead into that B-bomb side. Really sweet stuff from them. Shock? Hello?
Ooh,
oh my!
Well,
okay. 4-piece from him. They tried to eliminate him. He saves the AWP. Still, they're not going to be able to buy. You know, it's nice that he gets the entire Aurora team by himself, but would have been nice to have at least one other teammate left alive with him. Kind of strange there, as I say, an aggressive stance in the saves, more like going for exits, which if they had more money, I'd be behind, but they don't have a lot of money, so you can see the buy into this round is not great.
Oh man, this is a very, very interesting game that we're getting. There's at least the start where it's kind of hard to call. My God, that's such a nice shot. You get 2-3 pixels to work with there, and they've made it work. A Shock's got a Zeus. Uh-oh. This round, it's far from job done, despite the buy that Aziz have brought to the table here. Shock's got an AK-47, and he's got half armor. This is feasible. It's doable.
Yeah, this could get weird.
They left me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Norvi, again. The plays from this guy have been so good throughout the game. We saw him early on opening up Banana in particular for Aurora, and it really did give them a way in. However, timing going to be of the essence. It seems like Aurora will move up quickly enough. And they also, I think, are a bit savvy. Yeah, the mid-push. Molly behind there. And, of course, this smoke really going to slow the Sinners down. They're looking to move in. Shock's got himself a kit. Could still work out for Sinners. I'm not sure whether they'll expect all three. And, oh, I was going to say good timing onto Deco. Trade's got to be here, though. It's a little slow, but Oscar does manage to get it. Did Deco spot both of them out is the big question. I think he might have done. Flash to keep them at bay. Halfway gone on the bomb here as well, so not looking too good. Kenzie at that first orange. Strong position for him. Oscar, oh no, needs to reload. Kenzie's trying to catch him, and he will. Oh man, Oscar gets so unlucky with that reload. And just the fact that it kind of caught him off. That's muscle memory. That's playing the game for 10, 15 years. And indeed, still not quite ready in that instinctive moment for that 5-bullet reload.
7 locked in now, and well, for Aurora, it is one of those where having a lead on the T side of Inferno is a big thing. This is a map which, even though it's kind of poggy, even though naturally it kind of lends towards decent T sides, it is statistically CT sided. So for Aurora, having just this, even if it's just one advantage, is not bad, but it could be way worse. Norby's found a gap between the flames, and it couldn't be even more perfectly placed. Beautiful. Novi constantly being an absolute menace, and Sinners just can't deal with him.
Decent little nade damage onto Majki. So we'll see. Aurora, I think, maybe took them a bit of time, but you have to bear in mind as well, this is a pistol conversation, right? We love bringing it up, but it obviously makes a massive difference. And indeed, in this game, it has. Sinners 1 rifle round out from them. Aurora immediately got back on it. No real issues in that sense for the T side.
Majki and Shock playing a kind of a double short position, but as that smoke starts to fade, you got to be careful over towards Bauk. They are looking towards B, but they're not committed the bomb just yet. This is an information setup for Aurora where they're poking and prodding to try and find some fight, but they're not committing the bomb anywhere. But they've got 30 seconds. They probably should. Fellas, I know you're executing B, but nobody's got the bomb. You've actually... It's not an easy run. 20 seconds. Guys, there's no bomb.
Have they noticed?
No, they don't know.
I don't know if anyone's even noticed.
Oh, now they do. Deco's running back. I genuinely don't think he has time. Bomb will be picked up. If they even just remotely fight for the side.
Way.
I don't think they've got time.
There's no way. Yeah, nah.
7, 6. That is such a blunder from Aurora. What are they doing?
Wow.
Oh, and Oscar's being fed. What are they doing at the tail end of that half? That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to go to break and ponder that one, ladies and gents. Aurora have just thrown away a round.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. So, an interesting finish to that first half, if you hopefully were here for that. Aurora just kind of have to take it in their stride, I suppose, but could have been a very, very dominant half from them. 8 out of the 9 sort of post-pistol rounds went their way. Not quite the case, though. It ends up being 7 out of the 9, but, you know, maybe we'll count that last one, kind of. Either way, fresh start here. CT side. What have they got in store for us? Resol is going to have a beautiful kill come his way. Lovely and easy. Lackey does lose his head. Resol pushes in for a bit more, which is kind of cheeky. Meanwhile, over on B, Norvi, really, yeah, a difficult spot for him. I think this is maybe an Aurora setup that Sinners were ready for. They go dry through that smoke with only 2 players. Kind of a wild move unless you know what you're in for on the other side of that smoke. Lovely find from Marisco. And another. Left right, good night from him. And that'll be number 6 as well as the all-important pistol for Sinners.
Okay. All right. For Sinners, that's huge. Already now deficit basically non-existent in a sense where this will be a buy-in here. Won't be one for Aurora. I mean, you cut up to force, but it's so risky and they're going to go for it. You already know me. I'm not a huge fan of forcing on this CT side when you lose the pistol. And, man, this is going to be a big one. Aurora lose this. Not only do they lose the lead and the game gets tied 7 apiece, but they probably give up the lead towards Sinners 2. In best of 1 territory is inherently so damn risky.
Lackey on that corner. Trying to bait them in towards Norvi, I think, is the key thing here. Molotov, yeah, not sure that it will quite spread to Norvi, actually. So they might think it's clear when it isn't. At the same time, looking very, very apprehensive on this T side, aren't they? Yeah, going to make their way in nice and easy. There you go. That's how you do it, boys and girls. 5v3, probably just going to be a save from Aurora.
Not bad. Not bad. This one put to bed very quickly. There's the inherent risk, and yeah, we said it. They might have a little hunt here. I mean, Shock's kind of tempted, but there's the other side where, do you want to give up an AK? No. Not really. Nate will come over. We stick him a risk. They take a tag. It's not going to make a grand difference. Flash shotgun round. Oh, they can barrel in towards this MTB site. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. Going to be this in the side, putting up a 7th on the board. And Aurora. I now am getting a little concerned. No two ways about it. They are making life a bit hard for themselves, Aurora. That buy, it's so risky. And I don't know. I'm going to have to try and see if I can find it. I'm going to have to inquire with someone like Nero or whatnot. But I want to see the conversion rates of, you know, 2nd round force buys on CT side. Because I'm sure it can't be any higher than like 15%. And the way Counter-Strike is played, especially kind of a top tier 1 EU level, is it's percentage based. I just don't understand the mindset behind it. I've actually spoken to pros about it, and they tried to justify it. And basically what it came down to, a lot of the pros that I've spoken to when they tried to justify it, is they said, it's just kind of the vibes. We like back ourselves. We're like, yeah, the numbers say different, mate. Deco, we'll get one at the end. I don't think he'll pick up a gun though. Yeah, he won't. So he gets one with the Deagle, but nothing ready to change off the back of it. But I would love to see the numbers behind it, because I'm sure it can't be more than 10 to 15%. And I'd love to understand kind of why so many teams do it, because it kind of never works.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those, right? For me, it felt like towards the end of Go, the CT forces were actually pretty good. Maybe just the way that, you know, the Deagle sort of felt. But there definitely was a time where CT force buys were pretty effective, you know, especially again on maps like Inferno. You just rotate the B smokes and
I can't lie though,
around,
fella.
The A bomb side.
Go was a year and a half ago. We're talking
it's
about,
true.
we're talking about the
I know
Stone
it's
Age
true.
here. That's like me saying
just...
the UMP is still the best gun in the game. You know what I mean? It's
I know.
Like,
yeah.
It's
you're not wrong.
it's. I can understand it to a degree, but you know, new game.
I'm just trying to get into. I'm not saying they're right, but I'm just trying to get into the mind of the pro player. You know, and there are a few things that they're a bit stubborn about.
Yeah.
When it comes to stuff like that, and then I think it's also like the risk reward that's also spilled over. Again, we can look at it and be like, well, there's less rounds now, so your risk is actually larger because you're sacrificing more rounds. But again, he might be thinking about that. Oh my! Result with the 2-piece on the MP9 makes a difference in this round. Is it going to make enough of a difference, though, of course?
No ammo.
Maybe not. B-Stick, he's run out of ammo. Running him down. They're doing some damage to each other, but they're still going to be able to find the kill. Quick trade out from Majki. He's got to recover that bomb, of course. And a quick move to A.
Oh,
Goodness me, this should never have come down to the 1v1. I think, for me, with this kind of reset of the game here, damage and no armor on Norvi, I think he should be able to bag this, but you never know. You don't want to put it down to this kind of an RNG moment.
Yeah, if you're Norvi as well, you actually may as well give this a go. There's no reason not to. You're going to have a buy into the next round. Actually, what is going on in this game? Thankfully, he's not going to make a big difference. Norby actually just going to pick up an AK and save it, but I don't know. You could make an argument to give this a go. You're going to have a buy next round anyway. But he's opting to keep the AK, which I can respect. Of course, you can't buy until the AK, so why not? That's going to be Sinner's skin of their teeth type stuff that are going to put an 8th on the board. But that round was made to work much, much more than I guess you'd won. However, if we're coming back to the point, fundamentally, the T-side still won it against the that sort of buy. So the percentage is still lean in favor of the argument, even though, yes, they were considerably closer. 8-7, though, Sinners will take a lead. The buy to come back in place for Aurora. And, of course, with a save, Decker will get out an AWP. No bother. Not a bad little spot here for Aurora. Of course, Oscar himself with an AWP in play too. Dropped over by B-Stick. Besides, got the big greens. Been a pretty decent argument between the both of them, but Oscar's been winning the bulk of those fights. 13-9 he finds himself.
Early nades ringing on through. Oh, big one there onto Result. Sinner's playing a bit of a slower default, it would seem. Although they have managed to get a player in here. Flash over the top. He goes in for the peek. I didn't think he was going to there for a second. Really nice flash as well. Blinding up both of them means that there's no room for a trade. Sinners kick off very well here. Deco will, at the very least, confirm the location, but yeah, doesn't want to stick around. Doesn't want to lose his life.
Does go a little quiet around it. Still trying to creep up Banana here. Just putting the pressure on. And Pop actually coming towards mid. They don't spot anything. But Deco, Molotov will tick the toes. He's there. Would have been heard. So it comes down. Gonna try and play behind this as well. Could get one as the smoke plumes, but he just doesn't peek out in time. Marisco, for now, tucks his head. Deco gonna play anti. Second is a flash. He's gonna try and fight behind this. Resto gonna find one. There's the flash. There's Deco stepping up, but he gets caught in transition. So that's the B side taken. And in this 2 versus 4, I think it's safe to say Aurora not gonna give this one a go.
It's slipping, man. The CT side is really not looking good, is it? You know, I think maybe... Could we say they have their minds in that last round of the first half? I don't know. It's difficult, but they don't look super present here. Is it a switch over? Is it kind of issues lying over from that dodgy round? Maybe it's a combination of both. But something's got to change here. I think a timeout definitely has to come in.
I'm with you. I'm with you. This is pretty tough where we've put ourselves in at the moment. I don't know. I'm not feeling too comfortable, too confident about what I've seen thus far. And like I said, I wouldn't mind a little conversation. These rounds are scrappy. They're actually relying so heavily on individuals fighting, but when they can't, it falters very quickly. And hey, there we go. We're going to get the timeout. At least Brain can get on the mic. Of course, for those, I'm sure all of you would have seen it. The couple of those tweets went viral. I think Aurora even tweeted about it as well. Brain broke his leg in Mongolia. In just after map number 1 of their lower bracket, well, the consolidation final, the lower bracket final against Bleed, which was, it was tough because they actually really needed in map number 2 and 3. Thankfully, when you're from home, you're okay. You can kind of make this one work, even if you got a broken leg. Just gotta prop it up. Conversation concluded though. Sinners 9-7. And They're getting ever closer now to seeing this one off. This has been so far so good. So there's, for my money, you get this round here, you break the econ, that probably might be the match done and dusted.
Definitely feels that way, so we'll see, man, if they can fully eliminate, but, you know, the momentum definitely with them. And this is one of the things we maybe say to Aurora, they might have room to work with. Not really going to be the case. We are also working on a rolling schedule here today as well, so, you know, really tight-knit, not going to have loads of time in between games to recover. I suppose it depends on how your bracket goes and everything, but ultimately 15, 20 minutes if everything goes to plan. And I mean, this game's pretty close, not like it's super one-sided, so probably does mean they won't be waiting around too long for that next game to get going. Got to bounce back quickly, and then you've got a completely different team to play. So I think you have to leave a piece of yourself on the server here, even if you are not going to be the victor. Sinners looking to take yet another round. Not the worst of starts. Maybe should have been a kill onto Norby, but through the smoke, always difficult. Lackey from one fire into the next. Flashes coming round. Everybody's so blind. Oh my goodness, Lackey does go down, but it's Norby that capitalizes for a double kill. New box looking good here for him. He's got support coming in as well. Deco goes a little wild on the AWP, but it's Kenzie that comes round, I think, to really upset the apple cart. Majki down to the 1v2. Where the heck is Result? He's absolutely miles away from the action here. I'm going to go down. Kenzie has to let that happen. Should be able to 2v1 it out here. We'll see. Nade onto the smoke. Maybe for just a second. Benefited Majki on that defense of the bomb site. All the same, Aurora will take it. The all-important round picked up.
Oh, so, bit by bit, they've given themselves a chance here, and that's a big round. Especially with kind of the other side. You lose that round, and you're in so much trouble. You basically give Sinners double digits, if not kind of a 3 to 4 round lead, and we're talking about potentially even the beginning of the end. So, in finding that, they've kind of once again reopened the opportunity. Majki might even be tempted or struggle with. Oh no, he'll get a drop over, so he actually should be fine. Yeah, this still a back and forth game, and because of how expensive it was there to Aurora, they kind of have to reinvest in. This is a pretty big swing round. Economies on both sides aren't exactly built up. Winner of this could take a couple in a row because of it. Sinners, they don't get a bomb plant. Most definitely they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I like the position a lot. Maybe a cheeky spam as well. Never know what he might get away with. Double P. Smoke comes in. Sinners, yeah, playing a much slower game than Aurora were. Aurora very confident, sending Norby in particular into the mixture quite a lot, but Sinners, that widespread default, edging forwards little bits. Maybe it's also down to Aurora not really giving them early fights either. 50 seconds left on the clock here. Bomb not really showing any signs of where it wants to go. Aurora looking for a B stack.
Waiting. One up close. Oh, but Kenzie cannot find his shot. Bit of damage dealt towards Beastie, yes, but it's Beastie swings and rips his head off. However, that bomb looks like it's attempting to go back towards B, and there's technically 3 here. As Deco's just around that corner. This could be a little harder. Smoke will come down towards CT, but there's a molly to stop them for now, and they've got to commit to this.
Indeed, Norby gets a flash out. Lovely looking flash, to be fair, for him to work with. The aggression coming through the smoke here as well. It's an absolute bloodbath, but pretty heavily in favor of Aurora. Oscar looking to save. Even that might be denied away. We'll see. Resol again on this long flank. Feels like this guy's just been getting his steps in. We've not seen too much action from him in the past couple of rounds. All the same, Aurora will even things up. Really heating up here then. Sinners have got to fix this.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the mid-round call there. They get a kill on towards A short, which is, you know, basically all of top mid taken for free, and you've killed a short player. I mean, it's such a good amount that you've grabbed there. It feels like they're kind of the perfect way to play it. And then they opt for a long rotate. Committing towards the A site felt easy for me, like the best way to go about it. No, not in their mind. I think you're spot on. One of mine on the other side, a bit of a conversation to be had from the Sinners side, because they've gifted Aurora a chance here. Oscar's got his AWP, but that is basically all they've got to work with. It's a tough spot, which basically this round feels like from the get-go a bit of a non-starter.
Slow build up here. Sinners maybe taking that brackets control quite quickly, though. They want to do something with this. Pistols on the corner. Lackey close to the action here. Oh, but immediately eliminated. Not what they wanted. Felt like he had the perfect weapon for that, but just could not track properly, and the Tech-9 will get the better of him. Suddenly, anything is possible for Sinners. A bomb site still pretty well defended. Are they going to go B? I think they're, unsure themselves at this point.
Waiting now. I think, said... Oh, I was going to say, if Deco can't find this first kill, it might be in a bit of trouble. That's going to be at least a warning sign. We should know that they're coming. He could get another one here, but again, only a pistol. Actually, got to hit the shot too. Oh, he gets baited in by the jumping across. Lovely little play. Double orbs now on a post plan. Potentially doable. Shot going to tuck his head. Does Rizzo check it? He does. Good due diligence. You're going to give this retake a go, but it's 2 orbs now in the post plant.
Oscar, first line of defense. Has to get one here. Spotting out. Oh, and the diming shot. Doesn't matter how good your flash is. He's too quick for you. Kenzie discovering the location of both. Has to get past the orbs. Easier said than done. Doesn't have a lot of time, and Beastick will pluck him out of the air for double digits. Oh my goodness. Massive round for Sinner picked up. And Aurora back broken.
That's a huge round to take. I mean, that's a big blunder to let a few pistols and an AWP run riot in that sense. It's a bad one to lose. And in doing so, this will now once again open that door back up for Sinners on that C side. Aurora going to buy right back into it as best they can, but it does require a FAMAS and an MP9 and a Lackey. Mentally speaking, that's one that could really hurt you, and it could go back to haunt you as well if they are to lose this best of one. Those who maybe are just joining us again, yeah, that is the case. We are best of one territory here. No real room for error. Got to be careful. Risco's pushed his way through the smoke as well. They might not expect him up this close.
Risco. Not going to melt. He's not moving there on your minimap, so I think fire doesn't quite make it to him. On contact, or could be checking towards CT. Nobody there. It is Lackey right at the edge. Goes ahead of the smoke. Going through it. Yes, he is. Flash comes in. I don't know whether the T side were weary of that, and that's why they've moved away, or if they were just thinking of A as a concept anyway. But all the same, the banana control, the back and forth, looking good. Rotated around, however, Lackey, maybe need one more out of him here. Oh, he nearly gets it. That is unfortunate, but surely has done enough. He got a kill, he bought some time, he sets up another. I'd say that's pretty solid from him. Where is this bomb going? Not even we really know. It looks like it's going to be A, and it could all come down to this.
Waiting as well. 4v4. Damage down towards Morisco, I guess, is the only real worry for Sinners, and especially that clock as well. Holding mouse. 1. Deco gets 2 from the site. Kenzie will deliver as well. And nothing better to do but to save that AWP for Oscar. Aurora again, stay alive. So both sides winning, quote-unquote, lesser buys. But my God, this game feels never-ending. These two sides are inseparable. And they both crack in towards double digits now. A ridiculous showing. It goes without saying. What a game we're being treated to here. Easily one of the better best of ones that you could have started your day off. Sometimes in these sort of tournaments, when you have best of ones, the opening games can be a little lopsided. Anything but here. This is good. Nice work.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're definitely playing like, the best of one has got an awful lot riding on it. We are in that round robin system as well. But as you have said, only the top 2 spots getting locked in. A couple teams ready and waiting already in the semi-finals. So we will see. Big damage onto the Sinners boys to kick this one off. How do we feel about the bye here? I mean, I kind of get there was maybe a couple players that are a bit poorer, but I don't know, man. It's really, really... What, do we play now for overtime?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's
in
risky.
Because we're going to lose this and then eco, right?
Inherently, there is that, yeah, like you said, that big risk of you lose this. It's kind of feels like maybe the beginning of the end. Like in Novi playing backsides as well. Aptly timed smoke. Oh my god. Molotov will come. No, it doesn't even have to push it down. Guns up. Molly will come down now, but it's going to be airburst. And that's not going to help. Novi will get 2, but Magic can get 2 of his own. A bomb plan here might actually save their face a little bit when it comes towards investments, but they're still rocking pistols. Now they'll get their guns. Risco is only 10 points of HP and a numbers advantage retake for Aurora. Surely, fellas, we've got to give this one a go, but slow on the up. Take. Mariska finds one on the up. Oh, he gets 2. Oh my god, how are Sinners converting these rounds?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm a little bit speechless, but, you know, we got to continue on with the round. It's not over quite yet, but it's starting to look that way. Kenzie through the smoke here. A bit of a weird move from him, to be fair. And he just get the 2 pieces. Is there enough time for him to get to that bomb and get the defuse in? It's going to be awfully tight here. He might just have it. I think he might just have it. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable from Kenzie. And what a round. Back and forth. Topsy-turvy. Sinners had it in the bag, but I saw him push through that smoke, and I was like, never in a million years did he expect to move like that. He comes in from banana, pushes in the CT smoke, like, what? You know, that's such a weird kind of move, but it worked out perfectly for him, and he just got the defuse in. And margins, as you like to say, and I think that is absolutely the case in the tail end of this game.
It's kind of ridiculous, this game we're being rewarded with here. Not a bad way to wake you up on your Sunday morning. Beautiful weekend Counter-Strike. Yeah, crazy round. And look at kind of the ramifications of the back of losing it for Sinners. You spoke about it in that previous spot. It now puts them playing for OT. Smoke come down. They might just disrespect this. Wrestled up close. We'll get one, but only. Arguably not good enough. Would have liked a little bit more. Tapping away with that M4A1S. Matching at range is going to make that Tech 9 sing. But thankfully, the better firepower can tap down away. And a shock in a 1v4 for an M4.
Shock. Oh. Not spotted the boost there. I thought maybe you might have seen the edge of a head or a gun barrel, but not the case. Deco takes him out. Yeah, felt like losing out on that clutch was kind of the final nail in the coffin. We'll see, man. 2 in a row going to be required. Comes crashing back down to reality, of course. So tough. So tough. But we'll see. This is maybe the scenario that they were expecting a couple rounds ago anyway, when they went for that force. Not really expected to win said force. So, yeah, they were already sort of holding for this kind of a buy. I'm just curious what the game plan is, you know, watching if there's anything interesting, anything special, but it doesn't really look like they're changing the recipe all that much. Or a Deco with the boost here. It is somewhat expected. Loses the side of his head, but thankfully there was a wall in the way.
So this is make or break for Sinners. These are wild rounds of Counter-Strike. These last 5 to 6, none of them make sense in all fairness, but what I can make sense of is that Aurora map and series point, I guess, fundamentally with the best of... Whoa! The Wrestle can't get the second, but he does damage. And it's information gain too. They should understand that this is trying to finish towards A. Hence why Deco's rotating over, but Kenzie gets core, and now Lackey's in a lot of trouble. He is isolated here.
Yeah, a little dangerous looking. Hidden away in the pit. It's a good angle. It's a tough angle to be. Ollie comes in from the apps, though, and that's when they'll strike. Yeah, really well timed. 5-7 out for Deco. Not enough HP for him to really get anything done. And Norvi on the other side. So that will be that. Money is not great. Norvi should be able to hold on to what he's got. And I don't think there's really any loss bonus stacked up here for Aurora. I think they will have worked it all the way down. So, yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be very, very rough to fend off against the overtime. Might actually have overtime with that round.
Yeah, I think you're right. Unless, again, another one of those weird and just like random rounds come to fray. We've seen so many eco low buys convert to the tail end, but I think you're spot on. That should give Sinners OT here. The buy is going to be very uncomfortable. Norby can drop over 1. Deco can invest in towards M4 half armor, but then it's like, after that, it really peters off rapidly. And it does make you think, that should Deco even give that a go in hindsight? Obviously, it's very easy to say in hindsight, but it was 14 HP as he made his way over. You think the second you lose a sight, sadly, it's kind of the way Inferno is, but it is save simulator for a reason. Retaking these sites are so difficult. Double MP9, triple M4. Here's what Aurora have to utilize to try and close this one out. For Sinners, this is an advantageous spot to take it to OT.
Lackey quickly in towards the sandbags. I think eventually they might leave him by himself if there's not any action that comes his way. Contact flash from Norvi. Slow roll here, of course. It would be. It's absolutely what you would expect out of a round like this. But Shox, his slow roll, his patient play, catches Result early.
Doing so, gives themselves that chance. Kenzie's got to go for 2 here, if he can. He's dancing between both the angles. He's under pressure, and he only gets a dink. That, for me, feels like overtime locked in unless some heroics come through. Deco going to go up towards Cold Zero box. I don't know what he can do to make a difference, because Marisco will swing and a trade. 2v4 on the retake. I don't back them.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think it's really going to be the case here. Norvi straight into the crosshair of the orb. And just one man remaining on the MP9. Lackey. Not the best game out from him, actually. I don't usually point fingers, but he has been struggling, to say the least. Yeah, the stats are... He's got 10 assists. All right, sure. Maybe that's a part of... You know, that's a little rough. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, not going to happen. But the overtime comes in, and indeed the game will continue here. I think a game deserving of it, to be honest with you. Lovely to check in with the scoreboard as we're talking about the bottom end, but Oscar and Shock looking absolutely fantastic. Resol, Norvi, Kenzie, the riflers, the core of that Aurora side. Fantastic stuff from them as well.
Honestly, being really, really good. What a game, though. We're going to find ourselves in. Overtime required. And just to... Well, we've got this little pause. Confirm to know how some of the other scores are going. Saw are 10-6 up against Paravision currently. 2D Max 11-10 against Roshby. They were 5 or 6-0 off, and now it's 11-10. That one feels like maybe overtime. And 9 Pandas and Monty have just ticked over towards overtime as well. So all of these best of ones to start off here in ECL. Pretty damn even. I thought maybe we'd be the rarity having a close game, but it's all of them.
Yeah, I mean, lovely stuff, right? Lovely stuff to have all the games being close. And indeed, might be in for a slightly longer day than people had bargained for. But we're about the Counter-Strike on a Sunday. You know, it is lovely. You know what I mean? I can just imagine people waking up slowly. A little bit of a cup of tea we might have in England. Maybe a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at.
Have a free coffee.
We get some... Well, of course. Yeah, you absolutely do. Free kills, however. Deco will love those. Nice and easy round the corner for him. 4 versus 3 coming in. This first round of overtime. Much heavier on the fights than I think we've seen throughout the entirety of that Sinners T side. So they're testing the water, see what they can get away with here. However, when you start giving the clean fights, those sort of 50-50s, back towards Aurora, they will absolutely take them every round of the game. Kenzie and Deco left to clean up.
Beastic. This 1v2 is doable. Doesn't have any util. There's a full belt over towards Aurora. So he's going to get a bit of a luxury. Molotov in towards Dark. They've got to know he's probably now over towards Nubox. And he comes through. He takes a tag. He swings. And he finds. Hang on a second. Now we're cooking. Now we're talking. Oh, basic. What a 1v2 to convert. Sinners take first blood here in towards overtime with a lovely clutch out from the rifler. This game continues to deliver on the highest regard.
Yeah, indeed, man. Indeed. We've had a good number of clean clutches. So much fun. But ultimately hoping that this continues for us, I suppose, throughout the remainder of this map. Aurora, however, another round where they will be disappointing themselves that they can't convert. You know, they can't make it work. They've had at least 2 or 3 of them for me. Deco, a bit of aggression in towards middle, as was Kensi. Magiki does well to get up on that sneaky little box, that sneaky little angle to find the 2-piece. 3v3 back round, but still not looking the best for Aurora.
Shock. He's going to move here. It's a contact play into his balcony. He's spotted though. Swing. And Lackey are just in time. Wrestle, hang on a second. Wrestle's going to get him behind. He just put the bomb. No, he goes the wrong way. He will get his one towards Oscar. He won't know about B-Stick. And B-Stick should get a freebie in towards Moto. And now he knows as well there's one over towards mid. Here's Molly. He throws him straight into the smoke. So that gets it. No real impact, to be honest. Stops them swinging through, but a bomb down and another 1v2 for B-Stick. This would be monstrous. If he can go 2 for 2 in the 1v2s, that'll be ridiculous. And on towards different sites as well. It's kind of insane. Again, there's belts of Util to work with. Molotov in towards Pit, and Beastie going to be forced into the fight. And it ticks, so they've got to know he's there. They should know he's there. At the very least, they might not have heard it. Flash going to come over, and the swing is good. Norby sees it off. And Aurora this time, not losing that 1v2.
Yeah, really good stuff. They had a great idea that he was in towards that pit area. So, you know, flash into the peak. Or rather, I suppose it's more like peek into the flash, you know, like a very, very smart little change. Because it's almost muscle memory for players of this ilk to turn away from a flash when you see it. It's very hard to resist that. Maybe if you're AWPing, but yeah, definitely on a rifle, you're like, nope, got to look away from that. So, lovely little tidbit there. Maybe if you've got a homie that you're in clutches with quite a bit, something that you can try back at home. Either way, into the final round of this first bout of the overtime. I think this will be an important swing. Both teams have struggled on their CT sides in particular. So if Aurora can find themselves a comfortable advantage, I think they might be setting themselves up for the victory here.
You're right. You are right. Take a lead at the turn of this half would be a nicety. Lucky Striggleby on the corner. He's going to come over. He's late to drop his util because actually, Norby dropped that molly for the first. Norby for the second as well. In the flames, nowhere to escape. It's fire all around. And he will fall. And Lackey opts against going through the smoke, which is a smart decision.
Bomb going down. Looking good for Aurora. Absolutely should be able to convert this one. Again, another situation where if they let it slip, I think it might just be too much for them. Slow pickup here. Result moving in from behind. Actually kind of mollying himself off. So he's going to be a little while getting in here. Flashes over the top. Look pretty good, but Shock still manages to get a kill. Oscar's also picked up Result on the backside. So into the 2 versus 2. Not a lot of time to get it done. Labored spray down. Deco gets the better of it, though. And now it is just a question of Oscar trying to keep him blocked in. Deco looking to watch him. He's going to spin round. Oh, and he gets them both. Another clutch one out from the Sinners. Aurora just can't convert these rounds, man.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous what we're getting here. And it will be a slim advantage, but one that you'll take every day of the week. What a game. What a game we have got on our hands here. On to your 9 Pandas, of course, also in overtime. And there's his 13 apiece right now. 3D Max just in the final round of regulation, seeing off against Rush B for their first win. All got close games across the board. And like you said, it's rolling schedule. This next got to wait for this one to finish. Best of ones, man. This is a super exciting time. And as this kind of schedule is punishing and rewarding depending on how you start your day. B-Stick for one, Result will answer back.
Result looking to try and put some pressure down in the apartments, but ultimately the bomb itself going B, I suppose. But again, you can immediately feel that shift, can't you? Aurora are so much giddier for the fights on their T side than Sinners ever were. Yes, we had a bit of presence in Banana and whatnot, but Aurora really want to take those scraps. Sinners maybe matching them a bit on their CT side as well. I think Aurora lacked the upper hand on their CTN, so they weren't really that keen to go swinging in early. Looks to be indeed a B finish here, actually from all 4 of the Aurora players. B-Stick will be around, but it's the deep push down middle that is going to be devastating. I would think so. Nade player at the back. Oh, just escapes Morisco. He wasn't confident enough to go flying around that corner, but they still, I guess, didn't hear it in all the, carnage of the nadage. They did not hear those couple of bullets ringing off. Morisco gets his reward therefore, and it might just be the round, in fact, that he's able to facilitate here. Yeah, looking very good indeed. Lackey, the only guy alone. 19 HP, hidden in at dark. Surely not for him. They line up, however. Just one more headshot required. Oh, he was so close. Oh my goodness, this game just keeps out of nowhere. The rounds are turning upside down, delivering. It's Sinners that keep coming out on top of them, though. I'll tell you that much for free, but it is ever exciting.
We're getting a game. There is no two ways about it. This is one that continues to deliver. However, the main thing is we have to look at this now and say, it might be too little too late. That's map series, quote-unquote, point, right, in this situation. And I think it's safe to say that maybe those chances have kind of slipped away from Aurora. These close and weird and wacky rounds are now, in hindsight, would have loved to have had them. You got 2 map and series points here for Sinners. And Aurora, I don't know. I feel like they sort of slightly exhausted the strap book a bit. Sinners look like a very solid side at the moment.
I'm liking it, man. I'm very much liking it. Flashdown Banana has to be effective here. Not going to be the case, so Aurora may well have bought themselves a bit more time. 5v3 should be workable. Oscar. Whoa, there's some shots he's landed this game, honestly, man, that just look so clean, Not the fastest of flicks, but the most accurate for sure. Majki hidden in at default. Double piece for him. Flashed off eventually. B-Stick coming in from behind, trying to be the hero. Might not be him. It might be down to Oscar. Kenzie, however, will get the catch. A 1v2 finally going the way of Aurora. They give Sinners a taste of their own medicine. They keep the game going.
They're going to change the tempo as well. Quicker play into the fights. They back themselves, and Aurora still finding ways to keep this one alive. There's a couple of individuals who are really stepping up. Wrestle, Norvi, Kenzie, that rifling court doing wondrous work. Just keeping this on the side on their toes. Not exactly being a one-man show over there, but at the very least, where we've seen at the moment, it's a brilliant showing in response. And for Aurora, that might give them the confidence to once again try and... This is the chance Norvi is holding with the AWP. Interesting that there's Norvi opting for it, but a spawn-based peek as he goes up towards top Banana, but can't catch him crossing.
Oh, a little tagged up, but ultimately nothing too crazy. Oscar!
What?
Eyes off the ball, finger off the trigger. That's crazy. That is absolutely wild. And I mean, that could be a game-changing moment.
Yeah. The overtime. I'm losing the overtime.
I don't know. I am absolutely mind-blown. We'll see what Morisco can get here, though. A double piece for him. B-Stick catches that guy on the lurk. Might be forgotten completely. No one's going to remember if they win the game out here and now. B-Stick getting another. It's all down to Deco. Who else do you want in a situation like this? Most explosive player on this Aurora side of things. He's maybe not on his favored AWP, but you can see ever confident, ever thinking, moving forwards, trying to isolate a fight somewhere. He fancies Banana to be clear. However, and he's completely wrong, completely off the mark. Shock just slipped the net, and that will reward Sinners. 16-14, taking the map. hell of an opener here, though, on the mainstream for those EPL Season 20 qualifiers. Incredible. Absolutely incredible game from both teams, you have to say. Sinners, though, a lot of luck going their way, I will say. You know, the 1v2s that they managed to secure. Is it luck up to a certain point, though? Is it Aurora just really not on it in this situation?